vineyard. Yahweh won't pay attention to our prayers if we deal treacherously, deceitfully, unrighteously with our wives. I guess we all want our prayers to be heard, don't we? Yes. It's a bad sign if Yahweh doesn't hear our prayers. It could go so far as to mean that he just doesn't know us. That one. Don't know it? Don't know. We don't want. We want to be known by Yahweh and in a favorable way, of course. 1 Timothy 5 verse 8. 1 Timothy 5 verse 8.
But if anyone does not provide for his own, especially his family who are of the faith, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever.
By the way, this is also one of those verses which is general in its application, even though the translations here says he has denied the faith. It also applied to she, because actually in the Greek it does not say he or she, it's more like one, that one has denied the faith, whether it's a man or a woman. But of course it applies also to men, it applies to husbands. Now, this providing for the family, do you think that this is only talking about the physical needs? Well, no, it's also talking about the spiritual, because for Yahweh the spiritual is far more important than the physical. The physical needs are necessary for the physical life, but the spiritual matters are necessary for spiritual eternal life. So let's ask the question to us, to ourselves, the husbands: are we worse than an unbeliever? Even if we are providing in the physical sense, well, are we also providing the spiritual needs? Respect and honor is a spiritual need for a woman, for anyone, by the way. If we want to raise children of righteousness, righteous children, we need to realize that our relationship with our wives is a mirror of how the Messiah and the assembly relate to one another. Let's go to Ephesians 5. Ephesians 5:25.
Love the congregation and give himself up on its behalf.
Yahshua loved the assembly so much that he gave himself for it. He gave his very life and was wounded, tortured, and humiliated for the sake of the assembly. We husbands are to love our wives even as the Messiah loved the assembly. And that's a big order. The love that the Messiah has for the assembly is difficult to understand. Let's read a passage about how great this love of Messiah is in Ephesians 3. Ephesians 3 verses 14 to 19. 14 to 19.
That's Ephesians 3 verse 14 to 19. For this reason I bow my knees to the Father of our Master Yeshua Messiah, of whom every family in heaven and on earth is named, that he may give you according to the riches of his glory, by his power to become mighty in the inwards man through his Spirit, that the true faith Messiah may dwell in your hearts, having been rooted and founded in love, that you may be given strength to grasp with your saints what is the breadth and length and the deep and his height, and to know that surpassing knowledge and the love of Messiah, that you may be filled to all the fullness of Elohim.
So it is, he speaks in verse 18 about grasping, understanding what is the breadth and length and depth and height, and to know the surpassing knowledge and love of Messiah. So both Messiah's love and knowledge are hard to understand. And this is how we husbands should love our wives, just as Yeshua the Messiah loved and is still loving the assembly.